Welcome, Internet, to the ultimate destination for video game news. Today, we're talking about the PogChamp controversy and its repercussions for the new faces of the emote with VENN Esports host and our good friend, Erin Ashley Simon.
Yay! And if you like any of us, even just a little bit, hit that subscribe button. You'll always be in the know on the biggest topics. Watch, no one freaking subscribes.
I think people like us a little bit, okay? In case you've forgotten.
Hey, wait, turn the notification bells on. We're going to be talking about gaming all the time. You'll never miss a minute.
Yes, with me, one of your hosts. I'm Emma Fife.
And it's me, your other host, your boy, Jimmy Wall.
And this is The Lowdown.
Lowdown. Getting down very low. Twitch broke with the face of the well-known PogChamp emote after tweets from the creator were seen as encouraging, quote, further violence, unquote, in a nation that is currently under unrest. Twitch took a new approach, however, to the PogChamp emote by featuring a new face of a community member every 24 hours. The third day of this policy featured Omega CriticalBard Jones, a black partnered streamer. And of course, big shout out to my friend Day9 as well, who sort of pitched the idea over Twitter. So as this new face streamed, his chat was flooded with racist commenters, leading to some of CriticalBard's responses being clipped and then taken completely out of context, which in turn led to more backlash for a guy literally just trying to play Overwatch with his friends on stream. There's a lot to unpack here. Fortunately, we have one of the best in the business to talk about it. Erin Ashley Simon is here to discuss the fallout with us. Hey, Erin, how's it going?
I'm good, guys. Yeah, this was a very out of context conversation, and I feel like it's important for us to first go over what exactly he said to begin with, because I know it was just a short bit, but there's a lot more to it. So in the Twitch stream, he talked and said, when you say white lives matter, they don't. That was the specific comment that was taken out. But the additional followed information, it adds a lot more to what he was trying to say. It goes on to say, you can be proud of being Italian. You can be proud of being Scottish. You can't be proud of being white. It's not a thing. On the flip side, Black folks have to say Black Lives Matter because we were stolen from a country that we loved and we're forced to be here and stripped of our heritage and our identities. All we know is our Blackness. There's a difference between me saying Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it first happened, I made sure to get the full context of the video. Now, I can understand, like, maybe the phrasing could have been a little bit different, but what he said, there's nothing wrong with what he said specifically.
No, there's not. So, Erin, I want to give a little context for how I even came across this. I am friends with a lot of people in the Twitterverse who are personal friends with CriticalBard. And so I came across this story seeing them tweeting about all of the awful racist commentary that was coming his way while he was, as Jimmy said, literally just like trying to play games with his friends. So then when I came across, these articles that were talking about this White Lives Matter controversy, I was livid, if I'm being totally honest, because as you say, it was so taken out of context and misinterpreted. And on top of that, he has literally nothing to apologize for because he explained himself incredibly well.
Yeah. And I think another thing too with this as well is that what he, for those who don't understand the context of it, what he's essentially saying is like, you can't celebrate whiteness because there's nothing specifically tied in terms of heritage with being white. That is why he brought up Scottish. That is why he brought up Italian. There are actual regions and also heritage that's associated with those things. Right. Whiteness is not something that is tied to that. If you say I'm white, how can you identify where you're from, right? And even with that, in terms of Blackness, I think another thing too with that is when he said Black Lives Matter, I feel like we're beating a dead horse at this point. He's essentially just saying Black Lives Matter too.
Yes.
And this whole White Life Matters and all these different things that people are trying to heighten as a way to negate what he's trying to say. Let's just take a look at what happened at the Capitol. Like, we're all those individuals who talked about Blue Lives Matter, but yet we're beating officers and hurting people. It's just these context words that have undertones that is just used to undermine the Black person's experience. And at this point, like, cut the crud out. Like, stop it. Like, we all understand what he's trying to say. He should have worded that, you know, the portions of it a little bit different. But I'm not even mad at him on how he worded it, because that's speaking from his own personal perspective. At this point, it should not be the responsibility of a Black person to have to shape the words to make other people feel comfortable, when a lot of people constantly make Black people feel uncomfortable, and especially in the gaming esports space. So at this point, and I'm disappointed about some people in media and some individuals who went after this guy, didn't get the full context of the video, and they didn't even give him the energy they gave him. They didn't give some of these streamers who have been known to say racist things and be inappropriate online. And where was that energy then?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just people like to pick and choose, and we all know what the undertone of those pickings and choosing decisions are.
Yeah, and I mean, when you said earlier, you know, we all knew what he meant. I think in this group of 3 people, we certainly knew what he meant. But I think it's a little dangerous these days to just give that faith to the grander internet at large to say, hey, here's a really nuanced thing that we have here, right? This entire movement has been, you know, in a lot of ways so controversial because people just can't wrap their heads around it, or there's an underlying amount of racism or bigotry that still exists within them that doesn't allow them to accept it. And so you're given to them, right, to the people that are trying to take this man's name and bury it and put dirt over it, they're finding a moment that they can take out of context and use as a weapon against this other person. That's why misinformation is such a big deal across every single media space that we have out there. And that's why we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Otherwise, we are literally just sort of putting oil on a fire that we didn't even start, you know? And it's not like he came out here. CriticalBard did not have the intention to start a war based on those comments. He was trying to, like Erin said, say it from his perspective. And honestly, the best thing that we can do is listen to the people that are affected by anything to truly find out what's happening.
Yes.
If you made someone else angry and they came up to you and said, hey, what you said to me made me hurt. I felt X, Y, and Z from it. Are you going to go, well, you also said this, and trying to, I don't know, gaslight them into thinking that they're the ones? No, I mean, that's not a normal, decent, civil human thing to do. So I think looking at how the internet takes stuff, looking at how they are able to twist things to their perspective, and then as a result, respected journalists or people that we used to respect are taking that and turning it into articles that are, again, mislabeling and delivering more information. Just look at how volatile this all is based on the fact that someone just can't, you know, we can't have a little fun without people coming in to ruin it with racism and bigotry and everything else. And this entire initiative that Twitch started, let's give PogChamp back to the community. Well, the only thing I'm really seeing here is that community is not ready to give back to PogChamp.
No, and so that is my question for you, Erin, is obviously this started from such a good place of Twitch wanting to give back to the community and be more representative of the diversity of the community that exists within the platform. But what does this now mean for the community moving forward?
Well, I think that this means that Twitch needs to do a better job in terms of supporting those that they highlight and knowing that this is a possibility and giving additional resources, as well as upgrading reporting and banning systems at this point. I feel like those are the 2 things, in addition to better moderation tools, that the community has been asking for. And I still sometimes feel like there's such a disconnect between Twitch and the actual community and what is needed to best assist with creating more comfortable environments. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, because, you know, as you mentioned, Jimmy, racism is everywhere. So there are going to be individuals who are going to attempt and try, but there needs to be better systems that are put in place to allow these people to have some sort of protection, or at least to be supported, because, you know, the Twitch is utilizing these people's faces as part of an overall marketing campaign. Like, let's keep it a buck. That's exactly what it is. And so if they are going to be utilizing that to highlight this new initiative, the least that they can do is create some additional support for those who may get targeted, especially people who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, POCs and women. Like, we know how this community is. There needs to be a better system for that. And especially, this is not the first time recently that a Black content creator has been harassed. You know, Zombie Kills, she was harassed for a video that she did a while ago via just talking about, like, receiving the Xbox and some of the disparities and the I guess steps that content creators in the Black community have been making recently, and how you know, the overall gaming industry hasn't paid attention to certain communities. I mean, and it hasn't.
No.
Esports hasn't paid attention to certain communities, and neither has gaming. I mean, look, the fact that a Spanish-speaking streamer just broke mad records, yet most people don't know who the Gref G is. Like, that just shows you there's been a lack of attention towards certain communities that either aren't English speaking or communities that are POCs or underserved communities. And so that is changing right now. But unfortunately, as the tides change, there are people who don't want change to happen in the industry because they're comfortable with the system that has been set universally, not just in gaming, but in the US and around the world, that keeps certain people in certain spaces and others not. And so there are amazing people who are trying to help with this initiative. You know, this conversation is part of it. You know, I do know people at Twitch who are trying. I think it's also important for us to not categorize all of Twitch as like one person.
Yes.
There are some people at Twitch who need to do better, and there's certain people at Twitch who are doing what they're doing to help with the communities. But I think that's kind of like the next steps that I see happening. But also like us in the industry, like we need to do cleanup. Like for those who are toxic and are not contributing to the community, get them out.
Yeah.
Like at this point, get them out.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And I personally can't fathom how no one at Twitch went, hey, there might be some negative repercussions when we start putting these faces global emotes. Maybe we should do something to protect them.
Yeah, about that.
All right, Erin Ashley Simon, thank you so much for that discussion.
Yes.
I hope everyone was able to learn a little bit from it. Feel free to talk to us online as well. We're always happy to
Please.
continue this going. Emma, it is time for you, however, to pick a news story, and it's been a heavy week for different reasons, but I'm guessing you're going to choose Cyberpunk 2077 announcing they won't have a next-gen update until the second half of 2021. Yeah?
No. Nope. Not that one. Nope.
Okay, what about the world announcing the ongoing Nintendo World? It's gonna get delayed, or a president impeached twice. It's gotta be one of those, right?
Actually, I was just gonna talk about Pokemon Snap coming out on April 30th. Kind of wanted to end things on a cheery note and just say I can't wait to get a picture of Bulbasaur eating an apple. It'll be very pure.
You know, I can't wait as well. This is one of my favorite games as a kid. This is also a game that is easy entry. Anyone can play, and everyone loves Pokemon.
I mean, come on. They're so cute, and in their natural habitats, that's the way Pokemon was meant to be enjoyed.
Pokemon Snap, can't wait. All right, everyone, that is it for today's Lowdown. Don't forget, hit subscribe on your channel, whether you're watching on the TV, your phone, your computer, wherever it is, and pop on the little notification bell, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Heck yeah. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in. Check out more great moments on our YouTube at Watch VENN and watch the full episode on VENN.tv.